listening to Lifestyle Business Radio. When it comes to success in life and business, it matters who you take advice from. So let's get better acquainted with one of the hosts, Mayumi Muller. Mayumi is the quintessential cosmopolitan success story. Born in Japan and raised in the United States, Mayumi's Japanese and African American heritage has helped her learn how to connect with people from highly diverse cultures and backgrounds. Following her coursework at the University of Washington, Mayumi pursued a career in modeling, working professionally in major metropolitan areas throughout the United States and Europe. During this time, Mayumi cultivated an elegance, charm, and winning attitude that crowned her Mrs. Washington State in 1995 and landed her less than 5 places away from achieving Mrs. America. Since that time, Mayumi has raised 5 amazing children while attaining to the highest levels of success in every field she's entered. A President's Award-winning real estate agent for John L. Scott for 10 years, the top sales rep of a Fortune 500 company, owner of 8 multi-million-dollar businesses, and the world's #1 trainer in self-running business ownership. Learn the secrets to success in life and business from this amazing woman at the Lifestyle Business Owner Academy website, lboacademy.com. That's lboacademy.com. Why build a business when you can build a lifestyle?
Now let's go into our segment called LBO. That stands for Lifestyle Business Owner. This is where we talk about how to buy a business, grow your profits, and make it run without you. Like, you know what? Who wouldn't want to do that?
Exactly.
This is no joke, guys. This is
no
the
joke.
real deal. We run and own 8 businesses, and they essentially run without us.
Yep, exactly. And, you know, I was reading one of the reviews I got on Amazon, actually.
For his book.
For the book, The Lifestyle Business Owner. It's not quite out yet, but it's got the digital copies out, so on Kindle or Nook or whatever.
Yep.
And
we have to shout out to
Barnes and Noble,
Nook, because people have those as well. And they're actually a pretty cool device, but Amazon is kind of taking over the world right now.
Exactly. So, you know, I was looking at a review and this lady, you know, it was a 5-star review, which was nice. But she said, you know, this is typical, one of those typical books where, you know, the owner, you know, has worked, you know, tons of years to be able to get to this point, you know, and that's why he's able to be a lifestyle business owner. And, you know, I just wanted to, you know, write back to her and say, this is why I wrote the book.
Right.
I want to give all of you my wisdom of all those years and make it so it's easier for you guys to all become lifestyle business owners much faster than it took me. Why would you want to read my book and take my advice unless I've gone through all those things? And we've, you know, had these experiences and these pitfalls and these challenges and then successes, right? So you want to learn from somebody that has that. You don't want to learn from a 21-year-old that's trying to tell you how to be a lifestyle business owner who's owned a business for a couple of years, right? So
and we don't stop. Like
we're still
we've
doing
bought
it
a couple businesses in the last year or so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and we use the same system that Aaron puts in his book.
Yeah.
And it's very simple and comprehensive. If you just listen, you will succeed. It's pretty phenomenal. So, yeah, I wish you could have talked to her. But you know what? Maybe she will
reach out, go to our website.
Subconsciously,
you never know.
do the system in your book.
You never know.
After she's bought her business.
So Mayumi, today let's talk about partnerships. You know, it's something that as business owners, sometimes you get yourself into a partnership in one form or another, and so let's just address all the different types of partnerships that are out there, and then kind of talk about, you know, what some of the challenges are and some of the benefits, and you know, ways to make each one successful in the end. So I think it's important that we discuss this subject.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think that sometimes you become a partner out of default, and you know, and sometimes it might be challenging. But I think that all partnerships can work if you can identify your role in the business and in the partnership. Okay.
Exactly. So let's talk about the different ones.
All right, let's talk about the different ones.
So let's just say you're friends, right?
Yep.
Friends, you know, this happens quite often.
It does.
A couple friends get together and they like each other a lot, and they start saying, hey, you know, why don't we start a business or buy a business together? You know, like they need to.
We've done that a few times at happy hour.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're thinking, you know, like I can't do it all myself financially, or I just don't want to do it by myself. I'm afraid of the risk. So, you know, you might have a situation where friends come together. What's
right.
another?
Another one would be an investor,
Mhm.
right? So maybe you have been contemplating buying a business, but you just don't have the funds to buy it. So you might have to reach out to an investor partner that can help facilitate and provide the
Funds.
the funds
Mhm.
for your business, and that can work too.
Yeah, because sometimes in those situations you have somebody. Let's say you or maybe your friend or somebody or somebody else that has these abilities, but they just don't have the funds to do
Right.
it, right? So
Right.
that's why investors get involved a lot of times, and they're looking for an opportunity to grow their money. Maybe they
Right.
don't want to be involved in the business, or maybe you don't want to be involved in the business, so you might want to just invest in the business.
Right, exactly.
So the other type of partnership would be married. If you're a
Yep.
married couple, right? So
That would be us.
you're married to somebody, and you say, let's keep this in the house, right?
Yeah.
Keep this in the family,
And that's what we did,
Mhm.
when we got into our partnership. I was working for a Fortune 500 company and was pretty successful, quite successful. And I'm like, you know what? I am slaying all day for this company. I think that we need to keep it in the family, right? We
Mhm.
need to keep it in our house. We need to keep it with our empire. And so, as hard as I worked for the other company, if I put that effort into our businesses and our empire, our legacy, our children, our family, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
Did we have some bumps and roads, bumps and bruises, and okay, maybe not bruises, but bumps along the way?
Don't get me in trouble.
I know. Yeah, we did. But you know what? Again, it's not a failure if you disagree, right? It's just a matter of working through those, talking through them,
Yeah.
and working it out.
Exactly. So there's a couple more situations that you might get
Mhm.
into partnerships. One would be just if you have mutual goals with somebody, right? So
Yeah.
let's say you love to take care of the environment, and you meet somebody that loves the environment, right?
Yep.
And you want to do something about that and make a business out of that, right? So you might partner up with somebody that just has mutual goals in mind, and maybe
Right.
you meet them at a group meeting or something like that. You don't even need to know them
Right.
always. You might just have mutual goals.
Yeah, you have the same vision and the same goals, results that you want for whatever your cause is, and that's another way, a great way to connect with people for partnerships. Okay, so let's talk about.
Well, it's like the last.
Oh,
the
is there
last
another one?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. We're talking about a significant other, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
it doesn't have to be
don't have to
somebody
be
you're
married.
It
Yep.
could be somebody you're dating or
Your life partner.
or
Yep.
something. So that's another avenue. So you're gonna have different dynamics in that relationship as well.
Absolutely. Again, keep it in the family there too. So, what are some challenges?
So
and
let's
we've
get into
seen
the juicy stuff.
You've seen a lot of stuff, Aaron, with businesses and partnerships, right? Selling businesses, being a business broker, you're having to deal with that. So, and I know hands on what it's like to be married and being a business partner with you.
Yeah. So, let's just go down the list
Yeah,
again
so
of each one. But really, it's not only that, but I've had a lot of these experiences of being
Yes.
partners with these different types of people.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about friends.
Yep.
Getting into business with a friend. Is that a good idea, right? So people ask that question. And so there's definitely challenges when you get into business with a friend, because you could be best friends with somebody and then end up being the worst enemies.
If you're going to business together.
And
Yes.
so it's really, really, something that you have to contemplate. And we're going to, talk about ways of being successful in this a little later on in the show. But just keep in mind that you really have to think about it before you just get into business with friends. And it sounds really great at first because everyone loves each other in the beginning
Yep.
and when having all the ideas and fantasies. But the reality sometimes sucks.
Right.
And the reality is sometimes a lot more difficult than, anyone even ever imagines.
Absolutely.
So as far as the next challenge, would be with an investor,
Right.
right? I mean, we've been through that before, right?
We have. I mean, there were opportunities that came up, and we just needed to have somebody come in and not be involved, but just provide the funds.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, that can be challenging when somebody's giving you money.
Yeah. So their expectations might be different, right?
Yep.
They might expect certain things out of you that you weren't expecting.
Right.
And, they might, because they give you the money, they think that they might own you.
Yes.
And they're not.
I think in most cases
I
they
think
do feel
so.
that way.
And so also I think that they don't value your time that you put in as the same thing as money.
Right.
So you have to kind of contemplate, how you want to structure that deal and make sure that you're going to be compensated in the whole process with an investor. So investors sound good again. You're going to get a bunch of money from somebody. Angel investors are a great example. People sign deal with the devil sometimes, right?
Yep.
So just remember, look into it really deeply before you do that.
Absolutely. Mutual goals, again, dealing with people that have the mutual goal as you. If you're in a group or a networking group or a camping group or a hiking, wherever you might meet this person and you're like, oh, this is great. But again, there can be some problems.
You don't know them for one thing, typically.
Exactly. Exactly.
So then we'll go to the married couple, right?
Yep.
So married couple, sometimes you'll get divorced over it. This could be a challenge.
We've seen that happen.
That's the worst challenge. You love each other, but then if you're living that business every single day together, it gets really wearing on you. And so if you're taking it to bed every night and talking about it and dealing with all the problems, you stop having fun times. You just deal with all the issues that you have. And so being married.
Businesses can bring up a lot of issues when you own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you got to kind of know when to bring it and when not.
Yeah, and that kind of goes hand in hand with it being a significant other. So,
yep.
Okay, so some of the benefits, obviously.
Benefits, keeping it all within your friends, your family, your, significant other. That's amazing,
This
right?
might be a good part 2 for next week.
You know what? And we're going to talk about more benefits and the challenges next week. So stay tuned for our Ask Aaron segment. Business people all across the world write into us and ask myself and Aaron questions about the street smarts of small business. If you've missed any of our show today or would like to listen to any of our previous shows, go to lboradio.com. Also, make sure you guys follow us on The Lifestyle Business Owner on Facebook and Instagram. You can also listen to The Lifestyle Business Owner Show anytime, anywhere on lboradio.com. Make sure you also send us your questions to lboradio.com.
The Lifestyle Business Owner Show continues after this on AM 1580. The Answer. You're listening to Lifestyle Business Radio. When it comes to success in life and business, it matters who you take advice from. So let's get better acquainted with one of the hosts, Aaron Muller. As a child, Aaron developed an interest in small business ownership from his family's marina on San Juan Island. From the start, Aaron was driven to seek out business opportunities and attain entrepreneurial success. His very first business venture was catching and selling shrimp at the docks when he was only 10 years old. While his peers were preparing to enter 7th grade, Aaron opened a bumper boat rental company, catering to San Juan's ample tourist traffic. Aaron's first real job came in high school, but by the time he graduated, he had earned enough to purchase half the company. Over the past 30 years, Aaron has gone on to start or buy over 20 companies in the Pacific Northwest and now owns 8 multi-million-dollar businesses. Aaron is the world's premier trainer in self-running business ownership and author of the Lifestyle Business Owner book, which lays out the principles for making a 6-figure income by working as little as 5 hours a week. Learn how to achieve your goals from this phenomenal business mind at the Lifestyle Business Owner Academy website, where you learn all kinds of amazing business knowledge. Visit lboacademy.com and take your life in an extraordinary new direction. That's lboacademy.com. Why build a business when you can build a lifestyle?
So let's get into this week's Ask Aaron segment. This is where people all across the world write into us and ask us questions about the street smarts of small business. So you ready for this, Aaron?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So first question's from Angel in Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Her favorite way to follow us. Well, I don't know. It might not be. Angel can sometimes be a boy's name. So I don't know.
Good thought.
So Angel's favorite, not her or him, Angel's favorite way to follow us is Facebook. And the question is, I've been a high school teacher for 17 years. I've saved up a modest retirement account, which contains a portfolio of stocks, mutual funds, and bonds. I recently came across your book on Amazon. Thank you, Angel, for buying the book. And I'm intrigued by the idea of business ownership. My question to you is, I've never run a business before, and I really can't afford to lose my money in my retirement account. If I want to become a lifestyle business owner like you guys suggested, it sounds like I will have to put my retirement funds at risk.
Well, your retirement funds are already at risk if you have them in the market. So
That is true.
There's nothing that's 100% safe. And so with a business, you're just going to have a much larger return, typically speaking. And you don't have to spend every single penny of your funds that you have in your retirement account. You can put a down payment down on a business, right? And you can actually use your funds in that retirement account and get it tax deferred, just like it's your own. You're buying stocks in another company like Microsoft or something. You're just buying stock in your own company. So it could just be a down payment, and it's going to be risky, but it's very rewarding. And you can, and it's probably not going to be as risky as you think because you're going to make sure it works.
Right. And you know what? I got to say, no risk, no gain.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's why you buy a
to,
business versus start one too, because you can see the history of the business before you buy it.
Absolutely. So great question, Angel. Thank you so much. The next question is from Pat in Lakewood, Colorado. Favorite way to follow us is Instagram. I just read your book and I like what you said about having multiple measures of success. I totally agree with what you guys say about money is one measure of business success, but it shouldn't be the only one. I'm wondering if you could share with me, what are all the measures of success you use for your businesses?
Well, I mean, for me, I'll let Mayumi kind of speak on this one a bunch, but, really, for me, it's about time. If I have a lot of time and the company runs smoothly, that's success to me. It's not the money, because the money will ultimately come when you have a successfully running business or a smoothly running business. The money's going to come. What about you?
Well, for me, I'm a little bit different because my background is more sales. But I mean, I want our company to grow. And I'm not saying that Aaron doesn't, but I want to be the best. I want the certificate. I want the article in the magazine saying #1 best company in this area code or what have you. So I'm words of affirmation. And so I measure success on the effort and time that I put in and the affirmations that I get from either our customers, our contribution to the community, or even on a larger scale, our employees. Our employees praising us for creating an environment for them where it's conducive and they can be who they need to be without being pigeonholed. So that's a great question. Thank you so much. Are you done with that one?
Yeah,
honey?
that was good.
Okay, good. So the next one is from Matthew from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Favorite way to follow us is Twitter. His question is, I recently read your book, and I really like that you said about building a positive workplace culture that makes all of your employees happy to come to work every single day. The place I work at has a lot of office politics and is very dysfunctional. I would love to build a positive workplace culture, but the problem is I'm not in upper management. How can I change the workplace culture if I'm not in upper management?
That's challenging. I know
it
that's
is challenging.
Definitely, because it kind of is going to depend on how much influence you have in your work place, right?
Right.
So culture is built also on what other people are doing. So if you have a lot of influence and people really respect you, and that's going to be your best way of getting it, is if you're respected, you can change the culture. You can make things better. If you're not respected in your workplace, then people aren't going to listen to you. And it goes hand in hand with a manager or an owner of a business. You have to be respected. You can't just be this tyrant type leader and trying to run that business that way. So just try to build a strong rapport with everybody in the company, and then you can start changing the culture gradually.
And I would say another aspect is to be involved. So obviously, if you are, I'm just throwing this out there because I haven't worked in this type of environment, but if you're in cubicle 972 and you're trying to create a positive environment, I would say that it'd be a little bit more challenging. But if you're involved in lunchroom talk, if you're involved in the community of your company, and you are positive and happy and always planting, subliminal messages to your teammates about changes that you would like to see in a positive way, that's infectious, because how you're feeling you might not be the only one feeling that way. There's probably lots of people that feel that way. So start implanting yourself and getting involved within your work community. So thank you. Great question. And it doesn't matter if you're not upper management. Just get in there and get planted. Okay, so the next question is from Lorraine in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Favorite way to follow us is Lifestyle Business Owner blog. Thank you. So when Warren Buffett buys a business, he always keeps the management in place. So he is more likely an investor and doesn't have to run the day-to-days of the business. If I buy a small business like you suggested in your book, will the owner and management team stay in place to run the business so I can be more like an investor and don't have to run the business?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? They can. It just is going to depend on what you want out of that business, right? And what your goals are. And, you can definitely get into a business and keep that management staff. Sometimes you're not able to afford it in the very beginning, and so you might have to build that business up to be able to do that. But in most cases, if it's there and it's running, I find that most people that buy a business, they keep it in place, because it's hard to, reestablish that later on,
right?
Or it's harder. You can do it, but you just already have it. So then what you do is you focus all your energy on sales and building that business up so that you can make the money that you need to make. And the only reason you'd get rid of that management staff is if it's not working, or if you're not able to produce the income that you're really looking for. So great time for you to build that business.
Right. No, that's great. Lorraine, that's a fantastic question. Thank you so much. So next one's from Stephen from Corpus Christi, Texas. Favorite way to follow us is Lifestyle Business Owner blog. Thank you, Stephen. I wish that schools could teach kids about money. Kids in our country grow up learning about trigonometry and poetry, but they have no clue how to manage their money and finances. After reading your book, I can tell that you know a lot about business and money. If you could teach financial education to our kids, what would be the most important lesson you would teach them?
Well, when they're young, save your money, because when you have money, you're going to have opportunities to be able to use that money and give yourself.
And Aaron was a saver.
Yeah, I saved money. Like when I was a kid, I saved my money, and I had, let's say, $15,000 saved up the day I graduated, but this is back in 92.
Well, you know what? The key is to save your money, guys. Thank you all for listening to the Lifestyle Business Owner Show, where we talk about the street smarts of small business. If you missed any of our show, make sure you go to LBO Radio, and you can listen to it anytime, anywhere. Again, we'd like to thank Matt Steele for being on our show this afternoon. And next week, our guest will be a power couple in the real estate industry. Don't miss it. Go to lboradio.com and send all your questions to LBO Radio.
Thanks for listening to the Lifestyle Business Owner Show, where we talk about the street smarts of small business with Aaron and Mayumi Muller. You can submit your questions to be answered on the show at lboradio.com. That's lboradio.com. Join us every Saturday afternoon at 4 for the Lifestyle Business Owner Show, right here on AM 1590. The Answer.